Okay, back to your suspense. We're on the mock 2020 and we're doing part B. Now, in part B, it says that you have sold a delivery van. So I'm just going to go through what you do when you sell a delivery van. It's the very same steps as in question 1. So firstly, write down how much it cost you. They give you the net book value. So the difference between the two of these give me my accumulated depreciation. So when you sell a fixed asset, number 1, your fixed asset has went down. So you need to remove that asset, 21,000 from your fixed assets, which in this case happens to be delivery vans. Remove all accumulated depreciation of the asset. So all this depreciation has to be removed. Calculate if you made a profit or loss on the sale and record the payment. Okay, so they're the 4 things that we should do. So we're just going to do the 4 of them here. So it was a vehicles account. So you open up your vehicles. You have accumulated depreciation. We have profit stroke loss on disposal. And we have bank. Okay, so there are 4 things that should be there, right? So first of all, your vehicles, let's go through Earl again. Vehicles are an asset. And if you look at Earl, assets are on the debit side. So it's on this side if we want to add to vehicles, on this side if we want to remove from vehicles. You're selling a vehicle, so you need to put 21,000 on the removal side, which happens to be the credit. Okay, accumulated depreciation. Again, accumulated depreciation would be always on the credit side if you're increasing it, and on the debit side if you're reducing it. Now at the moment, for the van that we sold, in our accounts we have 8,200 included in our accounts. If you sell a van, you no longer can have any depreciation in it. So we need to take out the 8,200 out of your accumulated depreciation. Looking at it here, you believe that it's worth 12,800. They told you that you got 13,000 for it. So you only wanted 12,800, you got 13,000. Just put here, you got 13,000. Happy out. You made a profit of €200. Okay, so let's go through it. If we go back on Earl, expenses, which the loss would be on this side and a profit would be on this side, and we made a profit of €200. Then in your bank, you sold a vehicle. You sold it because obviously for cash, and they said you sold it for 13,000. Bank is an asset. If it's increasing, therefore it should be on the debit, decreasing it should be on the credit. The money is going into your bank and 13,000 is going in, so it should be on the debit. Now if we look at this, right, so you have 13,000 on the debit, 8,200 on the debit. So that's going to give you 21,200. On the credit I have 21,200. This is me entering this piece of information correctly. There's the 4 accounts that everything should go into. If I do it correctly, everything should match. So the debit 21,200, the credit 21,200. First thing in your exam, figure out what should happen, okay? So if you read this, this has been entered as 1,300 on the debit side of the sales. So what we actually did is, we opened it here, as sales, and we put 1,300 here. Then we opened up a debtors account, and we put 3,100 on the credit side. So for this full entry here, this is what the accountant did. They didn't do any of this. So you know that all of this in the blue has to be done because it's the correct thing, and we know that we have to undo these mistakes. So we have to put 1,300 here on the credit and 3,100 here on the debit. Now remember here, when I looked at the correct thing, the 4 things that I did correctly, my debit and credit side balanced. Because whoever posted this, posted not only into the incorrect accounts, but put the incorrect amounts in, these 2 sides won't balance. So you're going to have to make up your suspense to take the wrong, or to take the balance to make sure the credit balances with the debit. So let's see what we have to do. Let's do the proper things first of all. Doesn't matter what order these are in. So your motor vehicles on the credit we want to put in 21,000. Your accumulated depreciation of motor vehicles, we want to remove all of it, 8,200. We made a profit on disposal, and that's 200, and in the bank we got 13,000. And that's the entry what we should have did. Now I want to correct my mistake. So my sales, I need to put 1,300 on the credits. My debtors was entered incorrectly as well, and I want to put 3,100 on the debits. Now I said to you before, these two don't add up, so you want to put the difference in a suspense. So to make the two of these add up, I'm going to have suspense of 1,800. Now there's a lot of work in that, but you're going to get a lot of marks for it in the exam. So again, just go through it. Do what you should do correctly first. Always do that. Then put in what they did incorrectly and fix it. Now let's go through all of these and see what they affect. Remember, if it's an expense or if it's revenue, it's going to the profit and loss. So let's look at our expenses and our revenues first. Profit definitely affects the profit and loss. If it's on the credit side, it's a gain. So this is on the credit, so we're going to add this to the profit and loss. Selling is definitely revenue, it's a good thing. It's on the credit side, the side we want it to be on, so we're going to add it to my profit and loss. There's nothing else there that goes into the profit and loss, so the rest are going to affect my balance sheet. I'll just do that in a different colour. Okay, your motor vehicles will definitely affect your motor vehicles in the balance sheet. Motor vehicles are an asset. Assets belong on the debit side, whereas this is on the credit, so you will subtract in the balance sheet. Okay, depreciation, accumulated depreciation of motor vehicles, that is always on the credit side. You're finding it on the debit, you're reducing it, so we will also subtract in the balance sheet. Your bank is an asset. Assets belong on the debit side, so you want to add them if they're on the debit. This is on the debit, so I want to make sure I add to my bank. Now the only thing here, we be careful, because if bank happens to be an overdraft, just make sure you start off with the bank as a minus figure and you're adding to it. Debtors, again, is an asset. Assets are on the debit side. This is on the debit side, so I'm going to add to debtors. And the suspense, I'm going to do that with you separately in another slide. Okay, so again, with this, do what you're meant to do first correctly, and then fix the mistake that's been done.